Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Soul Support's Hearts in Action. If you're new to Soul Support, we provide transformational programs and experiences that take you directly into your heart. Your experience is then authentic to you, and it provides practical, easily accessible pathways that you can apply, and here's the really cool part, in all areas of your life. Hello, my name is MaryAnn, and I'm your host today. I'm so excited to introduce our guest, Lauren Liberti, who will be sharing her experience of being part of the leadership team of Soul Support. Welcome, Lauren, and thank you for joining us. We'd like to know a little bit about you and what brought you to Soul Support.
Well, hi, MaryAnn. Thank you for having me. I hope that I will explain everything well enough to provide some useful information to anybody interested in the organization. But if I think back, what really brought me to the work of Soul Support is that it really touched my heart and my being kind of in a, I guess what I would call a non-linear or non-thinking way. And was just it was a way to be real in my life in a way that connected with who I am in a not thinking way. So I'll explain what that is. I've always been a person that can get really into my head and into thinking about what I'm supposed to do and how things should be and how I can be a good person and things like that, learning and that sort of thing. But there was always this part of me that wanted to connect deeply to my life, feel sustained, and want to be in what's really truly here in the world and for our experience. And I consider that like not linear. It's, what people would call spirituality, I suppose. But I wanted it to be really present, not like an idea that I went out to get, something that was really here. And Soul Support definitely has that. I know many people see Flo Magdalena as a teacher, and I do as well. And she sets a really good example and is able to communicate really well how to be human and how to be in the essence of who you are at the same time without kind of the conditioning or the ideas that the world gives you. So there's a lot of teaching on how to come into yourself. And at the same time, she teaches, she understands, she brings the information of how all of us have our own special gifts that are kind of coded into our being and into our essence. And so through the coursework of Soul Support, you learn how to connect with that. And you're usually in a group of people who are doing the same, and you recognize what other people are doing, what they have, what they bring. It's different than what you have, but what you have could be with, what they have. And there's a wonderful weaving of how to live in the world from your essence with other people, getting, the deep connection that I really believe all of us long for, and there's a way that you're sustained in your own learning in that. And you also learn how to come out into the world and connect with other people in that. So I hope that's clear,
Yeah,
but that's what draws me to it. Yeah.
Lauren, you've been with the organization how long now?
So one of the programs that Soul Support offers is soul recognition. So I was in the very first group. I had known Flo Magdalena as a channeler and teacher, and I had a reading with her I think it was the late 80s. And then I started paying attention to her. She wrote I Remember Union. And so the first soul recognition group, I was there. I didn't know what it was. And that I always get the year wrong. I think it was 1994. So I have been doing classes and programs since then, became a soul recognition facilitator. And then, the work wove in and out of my life until, my daughter was grown. And that's when I've gotten much more involved in the organization now that I have more free time. And, Yeah, and I'm considered a leader, I believe, because I'm on the board, and I'm also, a facilitator of soul recognition and Heart Thread and some of the programs that Soul Support offers.
And I, my sense is that you've seen the organization as far as programs and the wide range of individuals that attend the different programs truly evolve. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Wow. Well, when you talk about that, when you talk about all of the people who have come and gone, I just connect immediately with how amazing each person is and has been. We connect on this, I'm going to say, intimate level, although it's not like any of those trappings of intimacy, like you get too involved. It's like you really feel deeply for everybody who's been in the organization and goes through the programs. I feel like in the past, there was this intention to reach out and teach everyone about their soul and kind of start this soul movement. Now I'm feeling more like, there's still that focus of helping people connect with their hearts and souls, but I feel like the organization much more so now is holding the vibration and intention of that moving out in the world. So it's not moving so much through the individual people who are going into the world, but more, I don't know, more like a general movement, or more like there's this opportunity to have this experience here and it's drawing more people in.
And it seems that one of the movements is, or the movement now has evolved to be Hearts in Action. Anything you want to say about that?
Well, definitely. I agree with that. I feel as though what many people are getting out of the organization now is a real understanding of their gifts and what they came to the planet to do and how to do it. Much more so now, there's this sense of, whereas in the past it was, how do I connect with my soul? How do I feel comfortable in this life? More so now, it's like, what are my gifts? Wow. I see myself doing that here. I see myself doing that here. And everybody's different. Everybody has their own special, unique talents and ways of connecting. And so when you say Hearts in Action, I definitely feel more so now like people are living their purpose, understanding what their purpose is and living it. And so there's a myriad ways that looks in the world, rather than soul recognition, meet your souls, which was in the past. I think that's what you were alluding to.
Absolutely. The evolution of the work is, yeah, I see it has really evolved, and you described that beautifully, Lauren. Thank you for that. And so that leads to, how do we see soul support system impacting the world? And you've mentioned it a little bit. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to that?
I see soul support offering different things to the world. I think that in many ways, it's a support for people who find their purpose. And, and all of us, have great discoveries of what we're capable of doing. And it's in a way where we stay very human and we have our human connections and our challenges that come up in life. So soul support is in many ways a group of people that you can get support for living in your soul at the times that kind of fluctuate in our lives. And there's also the support for realizing who you are and grounding that in the world, because you're with people who truly see you. And then there are many people in different areas, counselors, teachers, people that work with the dying, people that work with veterans, people that work with children, animals, connection with animals. Everybody who has these different connections are bringing the soul support energy into the world through what they're working with.
Thank you, Lauren. If you could say one thing to someone unfamiliar, interested yet unfamiliar with soul support, what would you say to them?
Well, if this person is very comfortable with me, what I would do was say, what is piquing your interest? And why is that piquing your interest? And what are you longing for? Like, what longing is behind that interest? And I don't know, I think that's just a good question for all of us to ask ourselves, to delve really deeply. And what am I longing for in the moment? And what I've come to understand through this work is that those deep longings are typically longings from the soul. And the soul is that aspect of us that it is our essence, and it knows what we came here to do. And it comes from a place of no time, where kind of the future is with the present. So what I would say to that person is, what are you longing for? And I would say you'll find that in this organization. That's kind of part of the magic, what looks like magic of what we work with, but it's really truth. That's what's true. This is part of how you be with your soul in your life. What you long for is what is coming for you. And there aren't linear steps for that, but through soul support, you can come to understand how that is realized and manifested. The other thing I would say, you're getting me on a roll, is that I don't know that people understand it. And it's one of the things that I really learned through the work, is that the universe is, and our lives are truly, the word is beneficent. It's a beneficent place. There's order and unconditional love and kindness when we're in the organization of things, in the organization of the universe, in the organization of the world. And when we're connected with our essence, that's where we get that. When we're in the present moment, in our bodies and with our essence, that's where we can understand that and move with that and let that be part of our lives.
Lauren, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your experience with us. It's truly been an honor and pleasure having you here for our Soul Supports, Hearts in Action. And if your heart and soul are calling you to live at your highest potential, then visit us at soulsupportsystems.org. Until next time, may you connect with and live your soul's purpose. Bye-bye for now.